order to fix this, we got to talk a little bit about the modern sales process. And in order to do that, you got to first understand what you're selling. So let's break this down, right? So you agree that, or at least this is how I looked at myself when I was growing up, when I was looking for jobs, that I am a business. I am the brand. I am Shelton Banks, CEO of Shelton Banks, and everybody that we've helped that rework, we consider the same way. Like, hey, you are the brand of your own business. You are the business. You have a solution that you're providing to companies. And so to get us on the right frame of mind, if you are the seller at the interview and the company is the buyer, what are you selling? Yourself. I see that a lot. You're selling yourself. You are selfish. Those selfish people, you're selling yourself, and that's what 80% of the people walk into the interview thinking that they're selling themselves, which is a very selfish way to think about it. You are not selling yourself. You're not selling yourself. All right. In order to help us out, though, we're going to think like most of the tech companies that we work with think. So here are a list of companies that we've worked with in the past, that we currently work with, and I'll throw it up here. And each one of these companies, they sell something. And for those of you all who don't know what SaaS is, we'll have another video on that. But for short, SaaS stands for software as a service, is what SaaS stands for. But what do you think? You go to each one of these companies' website, what are they selling? On each one of these companies' websites, they will never say that they're selling software. They will always say that they're selling a solution. They're selling solutions. They're selling culture. They're selling experience. They're selling lifestyle. And I think that's like every major company that I can think of. When I think of marketing for companies, I think of them selling solution, culture, experience, and lifestyle. I mean, I've watched like car commercials where I didn't even know it was a car commercial because they was talking about family half the time, and they was talking about the longevity and how they care about community. And then at the end of the commercial, it's like, oh, this is a car commercial. All right. My kid's gonna get home safe. That's what I walked away with because of this car. And so when it comes to marketing, most companies, especially ones in the tech industry, have adopted this. Like, hey, we offer a solution. We have a solution that we're selling. We have a culture that we're selling. We have an experience, a lifestyle. And so if you're at the interview, you should also be selling solutions. Let's talk a little bit more about the solution. So if they're selling a solution, then clearly there must be a problem. There must be a problem. And the best research that you can do before going onto an interview is understanding the problem that the company solves, identifying the problem that the company solves, AKA the pain that they fix for consumers. And so if you're going and you're doing research on company, you're looking up the stock prices and the CEO's middle name and his 4 kids' names and where he lives and where he grew up, you want to get the job, you want to be effective, especially if you're going into business development, you want to drive revenue. Best way to do research on a company is understand the problem that they solve, understand the way that they make money. And I'm not talking like features and benefits. I'm talking about like actually understanding where the revenue generation pieces are coming from. And so to break this down, we're gonna work with a company. Spotify is a SaaS company. Pretty sure is everybody familiar with Spotify. First of all, is Spotify a B2B, business to business? Are they a B2C, business to consumer, or are they both? For those of you all who said B2C, you're correct. For those of you all who said B2B, you're also correct, which makes those of you all who said both the most right. So Spotify serves both. But let's break down. Let's talk about the B2C part. So what problem does Spotify solve for consumers? What problem does Spotify solve? Yeah, sure, they provide music and you can make a playlist, but convenience is a feature and benefit. That is not the problem that they solve. Honestly, the best way to think about the problem a company solves is to think about the company, like how was life before the company existed? And the best way to think about it, if you didn't have Spotify, how did you get music? Well, you had to listen to the radio, but then you couldn't always listen to your favorite songs on the radio instantly. If you came from my generation, maybe you had LimeWire and you ruined the family's computer because you were pirating music off the internet with burner CDs. That was one way to get music. But nonetheless, you were paying money to listen to music. And then don't let the CD player break, let alone you got to buy a CD player or a cassette player or whatever you're going to play your music on. And so the problem that Spotify solved is it allowed you to save that money by paying one affordable rate to listen to as much music as you wanted to listen. See, it's a story that comes along with every problem. The same thing with the B2B version. The B2B version, so if you were an artist, if you had a podcast, if you were trying to get your music out there, man, you had to go find a producer. You had to go have a fancy mic in your house and go to a studio and talk to some people and rent out the booth so that you can get some airtime and hopefully you got in front of somebody. But the B2B version of Spotify allows you to record podcasts, allows you to get your music out there without having to have a producer. I mean, you're able to go from 0 to 100 real quick using Spotify business to business. Everybody see the problem you solve. And so for any tech company that you're getting ready to apply to, you need to fundamentally understand what was life like before this company was around, and how does this company now solve the problem that exists for that particular industry or whatever solution that they're looking to solve. So now that we fundamentally understand that as a company, B2B, B2C, solving a problem is what the company is about, here's a fundamental question I gotta ask. When a company posts a job description, especially for business development or any revenue driving role, what problem are they trying to solve? Or better yet, when a company posts a job description, are they trying to solve for a B2B problem, a B2C problem, or both? It is both. But if you don't take anything else away from what I'm teaching here today, this is probably the most important part of this lesson. So the B2B problem. What B2B problem, when a company posts a job description, are they trying to solve? They're in the business of providing solutions to folks, and they need more people to come help them to provide solutions for their consumers. Simple as that. And if you're in a revenue generating role, they need somebody to help them make more money. I got a solution. I'm a CEO. I need more people to help get my solution out there so that I can make money as a company. That is the problem that you're trying to solve. That is the business to business problem that you're trying to solve, that a company is trying to solve for when they post a job description. It's all about revenue. It doesn't matter, honestly, what position it is. You're in marketing, you need to understand, like, oh, as a marketer, how do I make the company money? You're an engineer. As an engineer, how do I make the company money? Put yourself and understand how you make the company money in that particular role, how that role generates revenue. I mean, you are killing the game. You're doing better than 90% of the people that go on the interviews that don't know how companies make money. Let's talk about the B2C portion of the job description, because it is both. Right? So the B2B portion is like, hey, I need to figure out how to make the company money. What B2C solution are you solving at the interview? I usually hear answers like, oh, we're trying to make the company more money. We want to make the company more money. We want to help the consumers at the company make money. Those are all wrong, but I guess we are on the right track. And so on the B2C side, when you say help them make more money, who is the them? The hiring manager, 100% right. So when companies post a job description, the B2B portion of the job description, they need someone to help them generate more revenue. That is the B2B portion of the job. The company, they need someone to help them make more revenue. The B2C portion that you're selling is that the person, the hiring manager, the person that's going to be your boss, they need you to help them personally make more money. See, the reality is like, man, look, any hiring manager, while they want to help the company generate more revenue, while they're in it for a very business reason, they're also in it for a very selfish reason as well. Check this out. So if I hire any one of you all, if I'm a hiring manager and I hire you, and you do some dumb crap in the first 90 days and you start to act real stupid in your first 90 days and you make yourself look bad in your first 90 days, guess who else looks bad? Because I hired you. Yeah, me. Especially if I'm this notorious for hiring bad employees. And it's like, oh, here, another one. This guy got another bad employee up in here. But on the flip side, let's just say first 90 days, you do an amazing job and you start making the company a lot of money. Guess who else is probably about to make some money too? Because you making the company money. Guess who else? Me, the hiring manager. I look good. And so the reality is you got to keep that in mind as a salesperson. I mean, I feel like making money is what you want to do. And if you keep in mind and understand that any interview you go in, the person is there for a very selfish reason because they want to look good and they want to make money, you're halfway home. So if you went from selling yourself at the interview to selling a solution that'll help the person in front of you look good, I would buy that.